2.
Welcome back. What's Cookin' Show coming to you from Hollywood, nationwide and coast to coast. I'm Michael Horn along with Paul Stern. And boy, I'm excited here about our next guest. The lovely Catherine McCord, who's you know her as the fashion model, as an actress, and been on all the good shows, Loveline, Dr. Drew, and everything. But when after I got a little background on her, I think of family values. Here is a lovely woman who was in a nice family atmosphere, who loved to cook and eat, was kind of an athlete who was running, hurt her hip, decided to go into modeling. She's at Victoria's Secrets, all the great things that she did in modeling, and but all the while through it, she's, family. Her dad says, you get back to the food and things you do like that. She's got 2 young kids, got a great husband, and she's into food, ladies and gentlemen. Catherine McCord, welcome to the show. I love your story.
I love that you love my story. How you doing this morning?
We're doing great. First, tell me about this. Give us yours to take, because I sort of paraphrase because of time here. But, I mean, you were raised in a great family atmosphere, weren't you?
Yeah, I grew up in Kentucky with parents. I mean, I come from an amazing background, but we grew up around food because of where we live. We used to go to, U-Pick farms and freeze and can everything. And, it just... I don't know whether it's middle America or just being, surrounded by food, and that's how we, shared time together.
And you shared time around the table together, talking, that kind of a thing, that old American ethic that sometimes is missing today, correct?
I feel like it's completely missing. And
yes.
if parents set up the good values and eat together and, kind of turn off the TV, then, being together as a family, they statistically see that kids that eat with their families test better in school, better behavior.
It's the truth.
Starts at home.
Now, you become like an athlete, but you had this injury, correct? A hip injury?
Yeah, I had a hip injury when I was really into sports and wanted to be a college athlete, and I had cysts in both my hips, so I was really depressed, and a friend signed me up for a modeling contest, and I ended up winning, and so my path sort of changed.
You won, let me tell you. We've seen that many times. So modeling, TV, movies, you name it. You worked with Dick Clark, I think, even on the New Year's Eve pros. But yeah, what gets me now is this WeLicious.com. Is this your own company?
WeLicious.com is mine, and it sort of started when I had my son, and even as I went to culinary school and had a food background, I had no idea what to feed my son, what to feed him. You have this baby, and you're like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with you.
I'm sitting there thinking, I'm listening to what you're saying, and I guess it comes as no surprise that you go to a restaurant and they have no idea what to feed the children because they have these things. It's almost one of the most insulting things I've ever seen. The children's menu, where they have nothing but junk food and just burgers and fries.
Yeah, everything's white, like
chicken strips,
white bread, pasta with cheese.
So tell me, tell us about WeLicious. It's WeeLicious, WeLicious.com, and this is your brainchild, and I'm loving the story. What is it? How'd you come up with it? What is it exactly?
WeLicious.com it starts with babies, and it teaches parents how to start feeding your kids from day one. So there's a huge section for teaching how to feed your baby fresh, healthy foods, but by starting from day one, trying to make them great eaters always. But, even if you come to WeLicious.com, with a 4-year-old or even a 12-year-old, you're going to learn a lot of recipes, a lot of great tips on how to get your kids to be really healthy, excited eaters.
And this isn't like sneaking the good stuff into a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or macaroni and cheese. Am I right? You're having your kids eat regular beets and things like that, right?
Yeah, really, I know it's random, but my son's 2 favorite foods are okra and onions. And I don't even like onions, so I know that this is sort of you just give kids the opportunity to see everything. You make no faces, you make no judgments, and sort of let them decide what they love.
So you're honest with your kids, you're straightforward, you tell them what it is, and they go through with this deal. Is that the thing?
Absolutely, and even, when it comes to, things like dessert, I don't tell, there's no bribery involved. It's not like you have to finish your dinner in order to get dessert. We use more tactics, more like, well, if you're hungry enough, if you're not hungry enough to finish your dinner, then you must not be hungry enough for the cookie. And it's so much of feeding kids. It's the psychology that you use with them, and getting them involved. Like, one of the bigger things is, like, kids, parents throw food in kids' face, like, here, eat this. And they're like, no, I'm not going to eat that. So getting them involved in the kitchen is so important, whether you take your child to the farmer's market and let them pick out really, cool things and taste things and see where they come from, or if you just cooking together, making smoothies and popsicles. The more you get kids involved with food and give them a choice, the more excited they're going to be about it.
So it's no tricks or anything. You're not sneaking stuff around and trying to get it into things. And do you have, like, how-to or videos or things on the Weelicious.com website we can check out?
Every Friday there's a cooking video, which is me and my kids cooking, showing that we shoot everything straight. So you see there's, like, I'm not, doing cuts where I'm, sneaking, exactly what you said, sneaking things in. They're videos to show you, like, cooking with your kids can be easy. Don't make it hard on yourself.
Yeah, and the kids develop different tastes too. You can try that. I remember my daughter loved pickles when she was a kid. She can't stand pickles now, but it's like,
really?
Isn't that interesting where your tastes change? And you can know, we were kidding Paul about seafood or whatever, but I mean, if you let the kid taste on their own, the kid's going to love certain things. And I think it gets down to that whole family unit. It's like what you're saying here, allowing the kid to experience and taste without saying, I don't know if you may not like this, but it's really good for you. Then the kid's not going to like it, right?
Absolutely. The more that you're like, oh, eat this. They're like, no, it's just sometimes just not saying anything and getting them involved. They're like, can you help me do this? Or do you think you can stir that for me? Or peel that banana or whatever it is. Giving kids tasks empowers them. And that's what, Weelicious.com tries to do, is empower kids into, having some sort of choice.
Now, what about older kids or your husband? Does he eat well? I mean, talk about older kids. Can you get adults to eat better? Is your husband benefiting from Weelicious.com?
Hilarious. He's the funniest of all. I mean, I was shocked when we got married. I mean, he liked a lot of things, but now he'll eat things, and I'm like, really? You're going to eat that? But again, see, I even get my big kid, my 40-year-old husband, the more that I cook with him, the more he wants to eat it. See, it works at all ages.
Catherine McCord, you're invited to come in and cook for us in studio sometime.
I would love it. Anytime. Name it.
We will set that up. Give us the website one more time so everybody can go check it out.
Check out Weelicious.com for fast, easy, fresh recipes.
That's Weelicious, Weelicious.com. I love people that give things back. Here's a great career, Catherine McCord, model, actress, and she's got this website to help us out raising kids and even your husbands, too. Weelicious.com. Straight ahead, more What's Cooking Today? Michael Horn and Paul Stern. Thanks, Catherine.
Homeowner.